Well, hello and welcome to Yoga for Recovery. It is Monday night. Well, you know that. Welcome to anybody who is doing the Michigan race, which I'm blanking on right now. The gravel race, which was 30 degrees and rain and crappy weather. The Barry-Roubaix, that's what it was called. So we are going to do two basic movements this evening, both based on this lunge, which we have done quite often, mostly because it's just a really effective tool to get at your hip flexors, the muscles that are constantly shortening when we run or when we ride. And the idea is that if we can open them up and lengthen them a little bit, our lower back in particular will feel more comfortable because it's not constantly rolling forward, and we will be able to extend ourselves more. Most back pain comes from, lower back pain especially, comes from tight hip flexors because your hips are rotating. So what we're going to do is one move that we've done quite often, and that is simply the low lunge, keeping our back knee on the ground. Front knee is over our front ankle. And I'm going to start with my hands on my knees. And I'm going to inhale, bring my hips back, and exhale. Coming forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. So the goal is to keep my torso upright so that it kind of creates more of the maximum stretching, pulling of the hip flexor. And I don't want to force it. That's kind of a key, because in any kind of recovery or any kind of stretching like this, it's not really stretching. We're just trying to mobilize, no, not even that, more really lengthening the muscle. You're just trying to break up the adhesions that keep it from moving and keep it from functioning properly. And that's why I said mobility, but it's not. It's like we're not making our muscles longer. We become, noodles in the process. We are opening pathways, I guess is a good way of putting it. So what I'm going to try right now is getting my hands on my hips and almost trying to arch my back so that I create more opening in the hip flexor, which feels really tight. So this is my right hip flexor. But I'm starting to feel a little bit of opening as I do this progressive movement. And by progressive movement, I mean that each time I come forward, my muscles open just a little bit. All right, now I'm going to let this relax a little bit. What I'm going to do now is a side lunge. I'm not even sure what they're called. I'm sure there's some yoga name for them. So we're going to maintain the lunge, but I'm going to bring my right arm up and I'm going to move my left foot out a little bit just to create a little bit more of a base. And now I'm going to try to open up my side body. Now, what is this doing? What this is doing as I continue to roll forward is that it's opening up my side rib cage, the obliques, the intercostal muscles in between my rib cage. But it's also getting at the side of my hip, even into my gluteus medius and somewhat into the minimus, the muscles on the side of the kind of that concave part of your butt. And I'm trying to bring my arm as far back as I can. Yeah, like that. And just roll sideways as I roll forward. Now I'm continuing the breath practice so that I'm going to inhale and come back and relax my shoulder, and exhale and try to open both my hips and my side body. It is helpful to have moved my left foot out a little bit so that I'm able to keep a little bit better balance. But again, I'm trying to get at my hip and side body. Welcome aboard, people who are joining us. We are doing we're doing low lunges with a side bend. So we're inhaling, bringing our glutes back. So the goal of all of this movement in terms of recovery is just increase blood flow, increase movement, so that we feel our muscles are kind of reset. All right, so my right knee is starting to get a little bit sore, poking down on the ground here, even with 2 mats and a blanket. So I also want to remind you that we have yoga for everyday endurance athletes on Tuesday mornings at 6 a.m. I know it's freaking early, especially when it's cold here in my little garage studio. But we also have it Thursdays at 6. And so now my left knee's down, my right knee is up. I'm inhaling, bringing my hips back and bringing my hips forward on the exhale. A little more wobbly on this side, so I'm going to bring my block just in case. I'm moving my right foot out a little bit. Plus all of the yoga classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I record them all and post them all on my website so that you can get a membership every month and watch the videos anytime. So if 6 a.m. is too damn early, then you can watch it whenever you feel like it. I have several people who get up at 6 a.m. So I'm continuing to roll my hips back on the inhale, and on the exhale, I'm letting them come forward. The key to this is not to force anything. I'm not trying to jam my hips forward. I'm simply letting them come to kind of a physical end. Like they're not going to go any farther unless I force it. So that's my stopping point. I'm going to inhale then, come back. Exhale, let my hips come forward, and hopefully they come a little bit more forward than they were. Now, I am going to try to bring my hands to my hips like I did on the other side and try to create a little bit more opening on my left side. I need just a little bit bigger block here. You can always do these with your hand on a chair or a table. That often helps to create some stability. But it's also kind of amazing when everything starts to open here. All right, now going to bring my left arm up. I'm going to roll myself a little forward so I'm not blocking. I'm bringing my left arm up, hips back, and on the exhale, I'm going to, hello. Again, I'm not trying to force this. I kind of felt that it was coming to I'm not going to be able to move very far here, so I'm just going to be gentle. And continue to tilt over. And so I'm doing this, several minutes for each movement. Well, for a lot more minutes for the lunge. And the goal, you don't need to do this for long. That's why this yoga for recovery is, 10 to 15 minutes at the most on Mondays. We're here every Monday. And the goal is always the same, is just to move, get things moving. Get the blood flowing, open up the tight spots so that we can recover a little bit more fully. Not necessarily quickly. So if you get a chance, come to the website, simpleendurancecoaching.com, where we talk about how to help everyday endurance athletes, people who just want to run and ride and do triathlons and find their little adventures, whatever their, or big adventures, what they might be, and we help you complete those. All right. Now my left knee is starting to get tired. All right, that is it for tonight. That is all we're going to do are those lunges and movements. Anytime you feel like you want to do those side bends, they are a great tool. All right, any chance you want to come, or any chance you have, go visit the website, www.simpleendurancecoaching.com. We have information about coaching, strength training, and yoga, and how all three of those help you become a better performer as an everyday endurance athlete. All right, have a good night. If you have questions, put them on the screen below here. I will answer them as best I can. If you have other questions, shoot me an email, paulw@simpleendurancecoaching.com, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, take care. Bye.